do the recap of what we did on Sunday. The business alchemist. So decoding the hidden algorithms of life and business. Decoding the hidden algorithm of life and business. Let me quickly give you one Machiavellian theory before we proceed. And I started thinking about this. I started processing this theory, and I figured that I've seen it in practical terms, in the lives of different people, even in my own life. And it is one of the posts I made yesterday where I said, you must be able to differentiate between generosity and business transaction. You must, at every point in time, as a business person, there's a level of attention you pay to your business that you become so business minded because everything in this world is business. Marriage is a business decision. Don't let anybody deceive you. That's why if anybody is with you and they are liability, drop them. If anybody is in a relationship with you and the person has posed themselves as a liability, then you have to drop that person because marriage is a business decision. Life is business. Everything is business. Because at the end of the day, everything is transactional. The world is an energy market. Everybody is transacting something with you every now and then. So you cannot assume that, oh, everything is friendship, lovey-dovey. There are no sentiments in business. Same thing in life, because life is a business. You must approach life from the business angle. Because a lot of people did not, and that's why they are where they are today. A lot of our parents, they did not see life as business. They saw it as child's play. A lot of our parents saw life as funfair. They saw business as funfair. They didn't see it as warfare. They didn't see life as warfare. They saw it as funfair. And listen to me, there are people who give you a drop of water, a cup of water. Yeah. And if you are too emotional, you would think you owe them an ocean. But they just gave you a drop of water. But because you are too emotional, now you think you owe them an ocean. And life is business. So you should never give anybody more than whatever you are giving anybody in return when it comes to the transaction of life must be something that is commensurate with what they gave you. Are you with me? It should be something that is commensurate with what they gave you. Because most acts of generosity are subliminal transactions. I'm focusing on business for the rest of the year. So no more stories. Most acts of generosity are subliminal transactions. A lot of people are too emotional. Someone gives you a drop of water, you think you owe them an ocean. No, you don't owe them an ocean. You also owe them a drop of water. Because listen, people hardly give for the sake of giving. Especially if they are doing something related to what you're doing or they need something from you. There are people who give because they love the people who give. There are people who give me stuff because they love what I'm doing. I have impacted them, right? And they didn't have to give me anything, right? But they gave me out of their benevolence. That is different. There are people who go to people who are sitting down on the road. I don't call them beggars. I see them as channels. Some people say I can't give my money to beggars. It's because you think beggars don't have anything to give you back. So you only give where you know there are benefits. Right? So there are people who give to charity. There are people who give to people like me because they feel that I have impacted or blessed them in some way. Some of them have even paid for whatever I am offering. Yet they still give me, I just want to give you this. That's a different scenario. But the moment you find yourself in an industry, in a space with people, yeah, who are doing business with you, and business can be anything. A lot of the friendships, a lot of the people you consider as your friends, they are not doing friendship with you. They are transacting business with you. You are the one who is seeing it as friendship. And that's why I said it the other time. I said it is easier for a business partner to become a friend than for a friend to become a business partner, because friendship comes with a lot of entitlement. The moment you withdraw some benefits they are getting, they start reacting because they feel entitled to whatever you do, to whoever you are. They feel entitled to your platform. Most acts of generosity are subliminal transactions. There are hidden agenda behind it. So don't be carried away, especially if you are a person of substance and you are a person of value. Don't be carried away by somebody doing something. No. Especially somebody that also wants the same thing that you want. They are in the same field with you. They are about to do something similar to what you are doing. They know that they are getting something in return. So, in order not to overcompensate or over reciprocate, you must be able to know that no, this is not generosity, this is transaction. And it's okay for people to transact with you at that level. It's okay for people to transact with you at that level. But you must know this so you don't over reciprocate. This is why a lot of people get burnt and later in life they're like, they used me. No, they didn't use you. You are not smart. They didn't use you. You are not smart. So the goal is number one, transmutation is the key. To be able to look at the different scenarios and events in your life and transmute them for your own benefit. Nobody should grow at your expense. Please forget all these people preaching selflessness to people. It's a lie. Even those who are preaching selflessness, they won't allow anybody. Nobody should grow at your expense. You should create the environment for people to grow. Depending on how you have invested in yourself, you should have a pool so large that people can fish from your pool. But they should not fish from your pool and also want to take from your own harvest. That's where me I go fight you. Because there are people that you allow them to fish from your pool. After catching their own fish, they forget you are the owner of the pool, so you will definitely have more fish than them. But then they still want to put their eyes in your own harvest or in your own nets. So all of this is actually alchemy, transmutation, to look at different situations and scenarios and not react, but respond accordingly. So that you don't go carry last in the marketplace. Because there are no sentiments in the marketplace. The marketplace is a jungle. It is in the marketplace that people pretend that we are doing friendship, but what they are taking from you, you are bleeding and you don't even know it. They are sucking you dry and you don't even know it. So people should grow, but not at your expense. And if you give people the opportunity, they will grow at your expense and they will dump you. And then after they have dumped you, they will now remember the things you did not do. They won't remember the things you did. They will tell you the things you did not do for them. It's transmutation. Your pain must become your power. For a lot of you in business, a lot of you've done so much for people in life that when you think about it, it is painful that people would treat you the way they treated you after everything you have done for them. But you are going to repeat that cycle. Ecclesiastes 1:9. What will be, can, and will be again. Business is cyclical, not linear. Most of the bad decisions you made before, if you're not careful, you're going to repeat them. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's not linear. No. There is the directional aspect of life and business, but business is majorly cyclical. It's not linear. So it is your ability to transmute the pain you are going through right now, the pain of regrets and disloyalty, the pain of how much you have done for them, and yet they still are entitled, still think you have not done enough, to transmute it to your power so that you don't repeat the cycle. The cycle that led you and your business to where you are today, because it's a cycle that led you to where you are today. And if your care is not taken, like I said, you're going to repeat that cycle. Because the goal is for you to transmute your purpose to your profits. So listen, the reason you have a purpose is because there must be profit. Is your purpose profiting you? That's the question. Is your purpose profiting you? If your purpose is not profitable, then something is wrong. And the majority of people out there, they think that their purpose is not something that should profit them. They see their purpose only from the perspective of selflessness, sacrificial. No. In the business world, there's nothing like that. Go and do the CRS. I do charity every now and then. So if I'm doing business with you, even from the place of my purpose, good evening, Machi, there must be profits. There must be profits. Tangible or intangible, there must be profit, because the goal, the purpose of business, and we are talking about sacred business here. The best type of business to do is a sacred, purpose, soul-driven business, right? So when you are doing a soul-driven, I feel like I'm having a master class. I feel so good. When you are having a purpose-driven, soul-driven business, don't think that you're not meant to profit from it. No. Because the reason you have a purpose is so that you can profit. The difference between the broke, the weak, the slaves and the servants, and the kings and the rulers, is the fact that the kings and the rulers, they monetize their purpose for profit. The slaves and the servants, they are the ones who I came here, I don't need anything. It is only God that will reward me. That is the vocabulary of slaves and servants. And they are the ones who are not even doing anything for anybody at the end of the day. Because for you to make impact in this world, you need to have some level of economic power. So on Sunday, we started by talking about the 4 alchemical stages in business. So listen to this. This is what I'm doing. Everything I teach outside, I'm going to settle down and teach it to the subscribers only. And the first one is, we said calcination. Calcination, which is the channeling of your ego. Right. Oh, thank you. I should mirror my screen. The channeling of your ego. Calcination is the channeling of your ego, not the death of your ego, because you need your ego, right? Ego is needed. Ego is energy. There is no right, there is no wrong, there is no negative, there is no positive. Your response is what makes it right or wrong. So the channeling of your ego and your limiting beliefs, that's the first alchemical stage in business. So you are not doing business from the place of ego, from the place of mischanneled, misdirected ego, right? Dissolution, number 2. The dissolution of this marriage, the dissolution of this and that. Release control, allow surrender. So you do business from the place of frequency, not force. That's what it is. You release control. I'm not saying you become unstable, careless with your business, and then, oh, you leave it in the hands of other people, they mismanage it. No. You understand that the success and profit you're going to make from your purpose is driven from inside. So it's not about aggressiveness or, this force. No. It's from the place of surrender. Ego is best channeled from the place of surrender. Having done all, stand. I've done everything I need to do. You do the possible and leave the things that seem impossible. That's the solution. You release. When a marriage is over, they call for the dissolution of the marriage. If they cannot reconcile, right? Conjunction, number 3. Conjunction. This is the aspect where you merge your intuition and strategy, right? Intuition, you must marry intuition and strategy. So a successful business, a profitable purpose is driven not just by strategies, no, but by intuition. Intuition fused in strategy. So every of your strategy are from the place of the still small voice in you, your gut instinct. So that's why people will not understand the strategy for your business growth, because it's from intuition. It's not from anything you saw outside. Maybe the things you saw outside, external, agencies might have activated something in you, but it's driven by intuition. So it's the marriage of your intuition and strategy that brings a level of stability in your business. And then the last one is coagulation. Which is your manifesto. You are building your manifestation form. Because the moment you are able to fulfill all these 3, then you can coagulate. Your manifestation cycle completes itself naturally. So there is nothing like, I don't know what's happening. You will know what is happening, right? Because you know what calcination does? The process in science, it removes volatile substances, impurities. So it transforms the material. So it's not the burning of the ego necessarily. Good evening, Purity. Is the right channeling of the ego, because you don't go into extinction. You are only transformed. So your ego is still there, but you know when to channel, when and how and where to channel your ego. You know when to be angry. You know when to have, calm temperament. But when ego is not rightly channeled every time, and people can actually see this, energy in your business. So it's not just about pushing your personal brand. I posted something, I said, you don't build a great product with an ugly personality. So limiting beliefs, the ego self, must be dealt with. It must go through the process of calcination so that it can lead to the transformation of the material. You are the material, you are the person. And when that happens, you start seeing some level of result in your business. And that cannot happen without dissolution. Look at it. Melting, surrender, right? You let go of what no longer works. I'm telling you the truth. I've seen people who, even till now, I'm looking at them. The strategy is not working, but they just have to put up a face to people that they just have to not let go. But it is not working. It's packaging, but they just have to show that it is working. No dissolution. They can't surrender because they have not been able to deal with calcination of their ego. So they are not transformed. An entrepreneur that wants to command results is somebody that is, you live an examined life. Every now and then I reshuffle my relationships and some of the people that I distance myself, the moment I notice you are not somebody that lives an examined life. Because it takes a level of smelly ego to think that you don't need to examine yourself. It says a lot about you. Because listen, even in my consulting, coaching career, I have used this month to do a lot of reviews, a lot of personal assessment. Look at myself, my presentation, my delivery. What am I doing right? What am I not doing? And that's why I made a post. I said, the people who think they have heard everything, they will soon know that they have not really heard anything. Because I have done a lot of work on myself, not just on what I am, my presentation, but on my personality and my character. Because a lot of people are fine tuning their product and services, they are not fine tuning their character. And they are so egocentric that it's almost like it's impossible for them to see these things. And you are in the business world. You are in the business world. So changing strategy every now and then is see, when calcination happens and you surrender, it is easier for you to conjunct. Right? And dissolution, the best way to dissolve anything is voluntarily. I am not in the business of trying to force an adult to change. I'm not there. Because the best change that the change that is sustainable is a change that is voluntary. That's why even in the court, they ask the couple, are you sure you want to dissolve this marriage? So that it doesn't look like anybody forced you. It's your decision. Self-reflection. I've seen people who it seems as though they can never be wrong. No, please. Because it is when this happens that there can be conjunction, recombining, strategy, aligning your intuition with action. You would notice that a lot of things are going to start falling into place. I noticed that I'm becoming more relaxed because I've changed my strategy. I have told myself, and I said it on Sunday, I no longer have any business criticizing pastors, alphas, religion, Christianity. I want to talk to people who want to listen. I don't want to stress myself over the sheep. I want to wake other lions up. And you cannot wake other lions up when you are too focused on your anger for this religion, for that pastor, That's not, it is not a sustainable strategy. Where energy, attention goes, energy flows. I'm not going to criticize pastors and alphas for grown-ass people who are meant to know what to do by themselves. So I'm going to keep talking to the lions who need to wake up. I leave the sheep. You are not called to wake everybody up. So you see, all these changes, and I'm sure many of you are saying it, all these changes won't have happened. Even in my delivery and my offerings and even to the VIP and all that, I want to give more. I'm saying, I need to give more to these people. All those things happened because I went through these 4 stages of alchemy. Calcination. Even in our brothers, 15 brothers, we are reshuffling, we are restructuring and doing a lot of things right. Because you can't continue to blame people when something is not succeeding. Check yourself as a leader. Check your business. If your business is not growing, leave external entities. First, you sit down, calcinate, check your ego. Sit down, except, like I said, there are people who don't care about growth. They only care about their ego. They will keep acting like it's working, but it's not. Except you want to be like that, no problem. Except you want to have a business that should be grossing millions. and it's not grossing anything, and yet you want to just stick to that to create this make believe to people that it is working so that they don't think that you are wrong. It's okay for people to think you were wrong. Who cannot be wrong? Who do you think you are that you think you can be wrong? In business, in life, character is almost everything, if not everything. I'm telling you. Because it is then that there can be conjunction. You connect the clauses. You're able to put the pieces together. You're able to solve the puzzles. Then you start experiencing synchronicity in your business. Because now you have merged intuition and strategy. So it's not just about strategy, graph, what's happening in the market, this, listing of things, pushing knowledge, information. But there is no intuition. Because if there is intuition, your intuition will help you know there are areas you need to work on in yourself so that you won't have to struggle. And this, I've told you, I said it recently. Some people are catching code. There is nothing like hard work or soft work. It's a language of egocentric people. And for anybody to convince me otherwise, you must be producing better results than me before I can listen to you. Because if I'm not struggling as you are struggling, if I'm not desperate like you and I'm producing better results, then I can't listen to you in that area. There is nothing like hard work or soft work. Work is work. You are only working from your soul's purpose, from alignment, or you are working from your ego and your effort to prove a point. And when you are working from your ego to prove a point, there won't be synchronicity. There won't be alignment because your intuition, you are not even listening to anything in you. You are brushing up your delivery. You are brushing up your skills, your talent, your communication skills, your articulation skills, your this and your that. But it's not reflecting. Me and Ibru were discussing something, and I'm like, this person is always talking about branding, but their actions don't reflect someone who understands branding. Is an example of somebody whose intuition is not merged with their strategy. You can't allow that in your business. We always make sure that this session is 1 hour so it can be posted on the subscribers only platform, because if it's more than 1 hour, we cannot post it according to TikTok, right? But I hope you are getting something. And then it goes to coagulation, manifestation. When you have fulfilled all this, then you can easily manifest profit in your business. You can easily manifest results in your business. And that led us to the 7 hidden algorithms. These are the codes of the kings and the elites. The way kings and rulers do business is different from the way servants and slaves do business. Yeah, I hope you know that. Some people are servants and slaves of their own work. Kings and rulers don't do business like servants and slaves. So that's why I said there is nothing like hard work. Work is work. If you are doing what is not necessary, right? If you don't know how to delegate, it simply means that something is wrong with you. You are either suffering from some kind of childhood trauma, you are running away from something, you can't deal with your ego. That's why you have to do everything, even things that are unnecessary, to prove a point. That's what you are doing. I don't do what is not necessary. And if you are functioning from the place of alignment, everything that needs to be done will be done. Everything. There is nothing that will be left undone. It's not about the number of hours. It's synchronicity, it's alignment. This is the communication and vocabulary of the elites, the 1%. They don't stress. I'm not one of the 1% yet, but at my own level, I don't need anybody for my next meal. I don't need anybody for any of my need. I can supply my needs by myself. So begin from there, where you can supply your needs. Begin from the place where you are not just cloud chasing on social media. Begin from a place where whatever you are saying about yourself, you are already that thing. You can't be claiming authority in a field where you have not manifested tangible results is fraud, it's fraudulent. And you're meant to build yourself. So when you are one Stephen Akintayo, someone told me about one Stephen Akintayo. He's charging $20,000 for mentorship program. And some people were criticizing him. And I just sat there and I looked at him. Why are you criticizing him? Based on his antecedents, you may think that he's charging too high, right? But he has earned it based on his antecedents. Now, I will not go tomorrow now say, me too, I want to charge 20. I am not, when it comes to level, he's higher than me. Anybody that doesn't want to admit that somebody is higher than them, check that person very well. They are sick. Something is wrong with them. Because you must understand when it comes to the hidden algorithms of business, you must know where you are and be honest and truthful to yourself. It's not about clout chasing. It's not about just packaging and just trying to prove a point to people. No, where are you? So that whatever you say, you are producing the result. So you're not talking about how net worth, you're not speaking in billions, and then there are people who know that you're not even worth 3 million naira. No, I'm not saying you should expose yourself. What I'm saying is when you operate from the soul and not from ego, when you operate with frequency, not with force, it's easier for you to become what you are professing. But when you are operating from ego, you only be professing it. You are not it. And you think you are, but you are not. And you will never know that there's a point where you have to dissolve. You have to calcinate. You have to dissolve. You have to coagulate. You will never know you are, because you are driven by your ego in business, even in relationship. Right. This is the vocabulary of the elite. Number one, hidden algorithm. Desire is divine data. I told you that on Sunday. Desire is divine. Desire is divine data. It is the people who understand business alchemy that would understand what I'm saying. People who have gone through the alchemical stages in business, they are the ones that will understand that desire is a data, is a divine data for that matter. Because what you long for is a code from source. You are the source. Everything outside you are tools that you use. So desire is a code. What you want is the data from source. And that's why we don't condemn everything. So you see, so I pity people who condemn anything they don't agree with. They must trash it. They don't understand the concept of the spiritual universe. It's imbalanced consciousness. They are carnal. When the Bible says a carnal mind can never understand the things of the spirit, that's what it is saying. It's not talking about just Christianese. A carnal man cannot understand or comprehend spiritual things. Simply means that a carnal man can never understand the workings of the spiritual universe. So he is one-sided in his approach. He is one-sided in his approach. That's why his results don't commensurate with his profession. Her result will not be commensurate with her profession. Because desire is divine data. The reason why you desire something is because it's available to you in your spiritual warehouse. It's a source, the universe, higher consciousness. Right. It came from the Akashic. It came from the cloud, the unseen cloud. The unseen is driven by unseen forces. That's what desire is. It's intuition, it's symbols, it's sacred texts, it's archetypes. You may not understand it at first, but when you surrender, not from the place of I already know everything, there's nothing else to know. When you surrender, you begin to understand it better. You begin to understand your intuition is whispering something to you that you can transmute to a strategy for your business, and you understand that, yes, it's time for me to step back a bit, not already. The moment, a person that feels that they know everything is a fool. Because divine data is non-physical, it's multidimensional. You can only access it through alignments, downloads, right? The quiet moments that you are in. There are people in business, they have never sat down. This year, they have not had a quiet time alone to tap into the reservoir, the depth of their soul concerning their business. And they are crying that the business is not working. But they have not sat down quietly. They've not had a quiet moment to really explore the citadel of their own soul, to service their technology, to pay attention to themselves about why is this business not working? What do I need to do to make things work? So regular data is for egocentric people. Things that are quantifiable, binary, processed by only their intellect. Statistics, graphs, all those innuendos. No. Regular data are good, the exoteric, but the higher version of that is the esoteric, divine data, symbolism, intuition. You receive it by spirit, right? For those who are led by the spirit, what does it say? Are the sons. Sons there is not gender-based. They are the ones who have access, right, to the universal infrastructure that is housing all the ideas needed to power anything in the earth realm. That's it. And it comes from within, from source. It comes from within. It comes from you. I said you are the source. Everything outside you are tools that you use. Let's go further. I want to make sure we finish this in an hour so that we'll be able to repost the video. If we don't, we're going to have a part 2 on Sunday. Divine data is spiritual code. That's what it is. Now, all of these things I'm saying is not for us to just listen and just say, it's for application. Divine data is the language of the universe. Numbers, energy, frequency, vibration, they are the language. Somebody was telling me today, she said she heard something yesterday when she was meditating. What she heard was, you have the voice of a spaghetti. She was like, she's British. She was like, what does this thing mean? Because I've always told people, I said, when you are practicing intentional meditation, which is purposeful, not all those yours breathing and breathe out, emptiness. Yeah, you are going to go to the place of nothingness. How about Einstein? 0-point energy. You begin meditation from there, intentional meditation, but you must create something from nothing, because everything you see in the physical realm came from the metaphysical. Every physical matter was once a non-physical matter, right? So you must begin from the place of nothingness, but you must produce something from that meditation. And that's what I've been telling a lot of people who are close to me. And she said she engages that a lot. So it means that when you are meditating, either towards the end or when you are done, you are going to get downloads. No matter how stupid the thing is, write it down. You can even hear, can you not? Write it down, can you not? Write the date, time, can you not? You can hear, were, write it down. You can hear, Odogu, write it down. No matter how stupid that download is, write it down. Because it's a piece of a puzzle that needs to be solved. Yes, you will understand it better by and by in future. That this is a piece of a puzzle that needs to be solved. And she said she wrote it down. You have the voice of a spaghetti. And she said, okay, after writing it down, after everything, let me even Google this and do a research on what it means to have the voice of a spaghetti. She discovered that it means that you don't have strategy. Can you imagine? So she got a download after during meditation that you have the voice of a spaghetti. Imagine she saw it as nonsense, as trash. She didn't write it down. There was a divine communication. Ancestral spirits, our guardian angels, they wanted to let her know that she needs strategy. But the way they communicated with her, because they communicate in archetypes, symbols, not directly, parables, right? But she made an effort and she discovered that to have the voice of a spaghetti means to not have strategy here and there. And she was like, wow, I need to start developing strategies. Now, I can assure you that this kind of lecture that I'm doing now with these subscribers only, I will not do things like this for the free sessions. I told you I have moved to the next stage now. I am in part 2 of my mission. Part 1 is over. We are in part 2. Because this is too good for free, for you that paid to enjoy, and then free people now we are now enjoying. No, it doesn't work like that. It's not strategic. So what am I saying here? Divine data is spiritual code. Maybe at best we'll post like maybe 10 minutes from the video. That's all. Divine data is spiritual code. Divine data is how consciousness communicates meaning. That was what happened to that lady. Purpose and truth beyond logic. You have the voice of a spaghetti is illogical. What does it mean to have the voice of a spaghetti? But she did a research on it because it's not just information, it's revelation. It was revealed to her that you don't have strategy, but the voice will not tell you you don't have strategy. The voice won't tell you you are allowing people to take you for granted. No. The spirit won't communicate with you like that. It will communicate in archetypes, symbols. Sometimes it sounds stupid, but it is the foolish things that the spirit uses to explain wise things to you. Desire is divine data. Maybe we're going to make sure we stop here today so that I don't want to start 2 and then we don't finish. Desire is divine data. So you must understand that in business, for your purpose to become profitable, your desire is legitimate, number 1. It is a code from source. It is data from source. It is a data you pay attention to. Nothing should be swept under the carpet. There are a lot of people, the solution to their problem in life came to them 5 years ago, but they trashed it because it sounded stupid to them. Because it's not something that came from an altar or a pulpit. They are expecting it to come from the sky, but it came from within as something that sounded foolish, and they trashed it and they threw it away because they don't understand that the spirit does not communicate like regular. The spirit does not speak English. Even if it's going to speak English, there's a way it's going to speak it. Like the lady, you have the voice of a spaghetti. That sounds confusing. How can somebody, how can a voice be like spaghetti? You see spaghetti the way spaghetti is. Everybody here, your business, the work of your hand will prosper, especially if you are ready, right? To take cognizance of the hidden algorithm that runs business success. You know, somebody was saying today, somebody came here and was saying that, you know, there is a man that he attended the person's seminar and they paid a huge sum amount of money. And the only thing the man was telling them was, when you meet rich people, there's a way you behave around them. The man was telling them everything they already know. Everything they already know. You know the problem with Nigeria? The majority of Nigerians, and I'll tell you the truth, thank you for subscribing. The majority of Nigerians don't like substance. They like effigy, steez, paparazzi. Oh, I went to that man's masterclass. I paid $1,000. What is the substance? Nothing. And I'm not trying to run anybody down. I'm just trying to tell you that the principles you need to run a successful business in an unjust society and corrupt society like Nigeria, they are hidden, they are esoteric, not 7 steps, not all this when you meet all these cliches and motivational speech. No, nobody can succeed with that. Nobody can succeed with that. Nobody can succeed with that. But you are going to succeed because you are going to practice all of this. You are going to marry intuition and strategy. You're going to marry intuition and strategy. They are not showing the time. Okay, 51 minutes. We have 9 minutes to go. You are going to do things the way they are meant to be done. You are going to focus on not just what you are doing, you're going to focus on who you are. As you fine-tune your product and service, you also fine-tune your character and personality. So you don't glorify mediocrity. So you are not doing so much and jumping into people's DM, running helter-skelter just to get results that is not commensurate with your efforts. There is a better way. And that better way is to function from essence. Everyone here, you must start seeing yourself as a business alchemist. You alchemize every energy for your business growth. And then you are going to start seeing results in your business. And even when there are challenges, you know that, I know the 4 different processes of business alchemy. And I'm going to carry them out. I'll follow them up by ritual. The symbolic interpretation of my intention. And something is going to happen as long as I do that. We're going to continue from here on Sunday. We'll move to the hidden algorithm number 2. Timing flows in spirals. Business success is cyclical, not linear. We are people, we are doing sacred business. We are not carnal people. Force. Aggressiveness. No. And like I told you, it's not passiveness. Because we function by inspired action, not by activities. We function by inspired action, not by activities. So everything that needs to be done will be done. Nothing will be left undone. Because you are led by infinite intelligence. If you are led by infinite intelligence, the wisdom of the past, present, and future, the all-seeing, all-knowing, all-present wisdom, how are you going to fail? How are you going to fail? It's impossible to fail. So we'll continue with hidden algorithm number 2 on Sunday. A lot of people here, I see that your subscription is going to expire very soon. Make sure you renew your subscription so that we can continue from here. Like I said, we are moving a lot of things from the free to subscribers only so that, I'm tired of hearing all these things you are saying, is not meant to be free. And no problem. Now, let's move it so that we can minimize those who take debt for granted because it's free, and those who are truly serious to transform their life and their business. Right? And I want to thank you again for your subscription, for your support, and everything. We'll not be able to ask questions today because we want to make sure we finish before 1 hour. If we exceed an hour, we will not be able to post the video on the subscriber-only platform according to TikTok policy. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your week. And speak over your business tonight before you sleep and watch what happens. Thank you.